Hey everyone, how y'all doing today? Hopefully you're having a great day, and if not, then I hope it gets better. Today we're going to talk about this. It's the 8BitDo M30 2.4 GHz wireless gamepad for the Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, and compatible systems such as the Mega SG. I've had this for quite a while, I think about a year now, and I figured I should give my thoughts on it at this point since I've had some experience with it. So, long story short, too long didn't read. Great controller, recommended. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. I don't do those, so we're going to go ahead and I'll just show you what it comes with because I kind of just tossed it back in the box so that you can get the unboxing experience. Comes with the controller, the receiver. It's supposed to be a USB cable, but I'm not sure where I put it right now. And then, of course, there is a manual that I do recommend reading in the event that your controller does not automatically pair when you turn it on. Mine was paired to the adapter already, so I said, okay, no big deal, right? So here's the controller basically. It's similar kind of in shape to the original. It's inspired by the original 6-button gamepad, but it doesn't quite match the design like 8BitDo's SN30 does with the original Super NES, Super Famicom controller. And that's because of the fact that RetroBit kind of has the official license in order to recreate the original controller. So I'm pretty sure 8BitDo was like, yeah, we're not going to try to infringe on that. We don't want to open up any cans of worms or anything like that. So I wanted to get a little bit better lighting on it for you. So yeah, this is basically it. Great finish. The plastic feels really well. It's very sturdy. There's like no flex to it at all. And feels good in the hands and everything. So the only complaint is that it uses micro USB-B for charging, but these were designed before USB-C was really becoming popular. So for comparison, here is the 6-button Genesis controller. This is the RetroBit release, but it's the same one, same molds and everything. However, if you look at the buttons, they are virtually the same size, and they might even be the same size. Not sure. Maybe in the future video or something like that, I'll take this apart and see if I can swap them out or not, kind of like I did with the SN30. Another difference is that this has L and R buttons because this is also compatible with the Switch and with PCs. The only caveat is you have to hook it up with a USB cable. Will not work wirelessly because, of course, this will not fit. And on those systems, L and R works like L and R. When you have a hookup to a Genesis or compatible system, I believe this is Z and this is C. You also have minus, which is going to be mode on the Genesis, and you also have the star button and this heart button. I think it's a heart, kind of looks like it's shaped like a heart. On the Switch, this is your screenshot, this is your menu. The Genesis, it doesn't do anything, but there is a surprise if you use the Mega SG, which I'll get into a little bit. But as you can see, it has more of a dog bone shape than a, boomerang shape. But the rounded corners either way do make this very, very comfortable to hold. It's very lightweight, especially since there's no wire on here, so that's kind of cool. There's been, talk over the years, even back in the day, about the Sega using this type of a D-pad. One of the reasons they did it this way is because Nintendo had a patent on the standard D-pad at the time. They basically invented it, and everyone felt that the Nintendo D-pad was a lot better than Sega's implementation. But I guess that's also kind of a subjective opinion because if you grew up with just the Genesis, you probably like this one better. And in some cases, especially in fighting games, having this kind of a design makes it easier to roll it for moves like a Hadouken in Street Fighter 2. And then it would be on the Super Nintendo, although all of my Street Fighter experience is on the Super Nintendo, so I'm used to both. However, I can see instances where accidental presses may happen. Like if you're trying to hit down, it may go down right or down left, for example, with this type of design. But if you get used to it, then you're probably not going to have to worry about making those mistakes. So with that basic overview out of the way, we'll go ahead and I'll hook it up to my Mega SG. I'll show you how it works and go from there. All right, so I've got the lights off to make the screen easier to see, and I already pre-set up Street Fighter 2 for 2-player mode just to make it easier. But I mean, there's no latency or anything like that. Everything just seems to work great. And volume's a little loud. And I mean, moves are really simple to do. And the reason I set up 2-player mode is it'll be easier for me to be able to maneuver and demonstrate everything without, them attacking me and stuff like that, because I know I'll be a little distracted with this video as opposed to just, standard play. And I mean, the moves for the most part work. I mean, don't judge my playing skills for the controller's performance. I am not a professional player. I'm not a master player. I mean, I pick Street Fighter 2 just because it's familiar. But yeah, L is definitely C and R is definitely Z. So, but yeah, it works fine. There's nothing wrong with it. However, I do want to go over one thing. And I need to turn the lights on for this, so I apologize if it gets bright. But the special feature that I told you about that the heart button does on the Mega SG is this. Brings up the built-in menu, whereas normally you have to do like down and start for it to come up. But as you see, it just unpaused my game, so that kind of gets annoying. Whereas just hitting this button, menu comes right up and you can go ahead and change your options and all of that. And so like if you turned on scan lines, but you decide you want an off, you can go and obviously get that taken care of. So neat little, I don't know if it's intentional. I'm betting it is, because I think when it originally came out, the Mega SG was partnered with, Analog partnered with 8BitDo on this controller. They were selling these separately. And yeah, so that's kind of neat that, has that capability. It does definitely make it easier to play games without ruining the gameplay experience. So, but I mean, yeah, as you saw, everything is fine. It plays and works really good. So let's go ahead and wrap this up because I don't want this to be too long. So yeah, so if you paid attention to the TLDR at the beginning and skip the rest of this video, you're not going to hear this part. But if you stay to the end, thank you. Yeah, this is a good controller. Like I said, it responds really well because it's 2.4G wireless instead of Bluetooth. There's basically no lag whatsoever, no input latency, I should say. Is it going to make you a better player? No, because that's going to be up to you. I mean, because it's a comfortable controller, you may have an easier time playing games, so that could, I guess, in a way help you. But otherwise, it's going to depend on your skills. But don't shy away from wireless controllers, especially ones that are based on 2.4G. That goes for any brand because of the fact that these are just a lot more reliable and not having this wire attached, kind of weighing you down. But yeah, it's a good wireless controller for the Genesis, Mega Drive, Mega SG, other clones. I never bothered to test this on the Master System, but I don't see why it wouldn't work. And it would probably work with any system that uses that type of a connector and would be compatible otherwise with the Genesis controller, as long as it can output enough voltage for the wireless receiver to work. Though it is not certified to run on any of those systems, so I don't necessarily recommend it. It is compatible with PCs and the Switch, like I said, but you have to have it hooked up through USB, otherwise it will not work. If you want wireless for that, you will probably have to get the Bluetooth version. So, and like I said, this works as the Switch's screenshot button, and this is the Switch's menu button. L and R, like I said as well, doesn't do anything on the Genesis other than replicate Z and C. And on the Switch, though, it will work as L and R. On the PC, I think it will too. I never really tested that. So as of the recording of this video, it was available on Amazon still. Both of them were on Amazon and AliExpress. I'll put below if they are still available as of the upload of the video, or at least as of the editing of the video, I should say. So I would also keep an eye out for it at your local retro gaming stores. That should always be your first step when looking for something. Support your local community, support your local businesses, stuff like that. So what do you guys think? Did I do a decent enough job reviewing this? I hope I did. If not, let me know, and I'll try better in the future. Do you have one of these controllers? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Leave some comments below. And again, if you want me to take this apart in a future video, maybe swap some buttons out with an official controller, I can do that for sure. Otherwise, guys, thanks all. I will catch you later.